Camera 2. Cam 3.
Hey, how you doing? Welcome back.
What's up?
To the Unsolved Studios. Unsolved FearCast.
Unsolved.
What are you afraid of? Tell us in the comments below.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. All right. So, this last fear that we're going to discuss that you mentioned is probably the vaguest one. Not necessarily sure what you meant by it, but I'm looking forward to hearing about it now. Okay. You said that you have a fear of water in the forest.
Yeah, specifically the sunset, evening, middle of the night. It's not good, man. Like, I mean, so I grew up on the reservation, and you know I was influenced traditionally, and heard, like, you know, a lot of their beliefs, and grew up living and contributing, and being involved with a lot of interactions within their culture, and there's a lot of things that hit hard to the heart, hard to the mind, hard to the soul, and it's something that I grew up with, like, and one thing that I never really experienced or had a fear of fully was the running water through the woods, because everybody would say, "Oh, water babies."
Okay, so let me just take a moment here.
Absorb it. Okay.
Water babies.
Water babies. So, never seen one. Okay, but I've heard them, and they were close, and they're so scary. A water baby is a Native American entity that lives near the water. Can take different forms, or influence your soul, or influence your body in a sense. And I'm not sure if that you get taken and gone, and then they absorb you essentially, or and then there's a separate entity of you, or if you're lured and then your essence or whatever gets intertwined, and bad shit's just happens to your family, everybody gets sick, everybody around you gets sick, if it is even you, and you're during the night, during sunset, running waters where kind of they hang out, and you'll just start hearing rustling and the cry of a baby, and I grew up in the country, I grew up in the mountains, so I know what foxes sound like. I know what fucking owl shrieks sound like. I understand what fucking whistling pigs to sound like. I mean, it's or injured deer or whatever. But this is, and I understand what a baby sounds like. And all the homies are no, man. Don't get near that water at night. Don't do it. Some areas is fine. Other areas you're just not supposed to. Just don't do it. It's not good for your health. It's whatever, dude. I'm gonna go crawfishing. Fuck you. And then nope. Then once you start hearing the sound of the babies, and it's just unsettling. And then so it starts off with just whimpering, then a crying, and then if they're close, they'll start screaming, dude. Just high pitched infant squealing sound, and again, I've never seen one, but as soon as I heard that that high pitch, I can't even describe it. It's just an infant just screaming, and just I don't know, dude. It's crazy. It's unsettling to say the least. But yeah, that's why I don't really go around water at night, because I heard it, don't want to do it again.
So the idea is that these water babies kind of live near water sources, but are more active, or at least like spiritually or whatever active at night and in the evening.
Yes. And just because, like, and I don't know if it has to do with, and I know it has to do with something like their essence, or their being able to, like, the energies of the earth dipping from one set of, like, the sun, right, into, like, the night, right, light into dark and dark into light, or whatever. I think it's that the timing of the transference between the two is when they're stronger, or whatever. But they're there, like, no matter what, they're gonna be there. Like,
now, are they like near a water source? Do they exist within, like, they live in the water per se?
I don't think they live in the water. I don't think they just exist by the water. They exist by mostly running water. Exist, like, I don't know, in, out, fuck, I don't know, like. And that's the thing, that's the thing about, like, in certain cultures, like, you grow up knowing it exists, but you don't talk about it. Like, and that's the thing, like, the skinwalkers are a big thing. Like, there's, like, so a lot of people are like, oh, skinwalkers, and must have been a skinwalker, but, you know, it's probably not a skinwalker, but they fucking exist, man. Like, they've been around for fucking forever. It's been cataloged, scripted, like, tailed down in, or like vocals and stuff like that. But the thing is, it's like, they don't even like saying the actual native word for skinwalkers. Like, is because it's supposed to bring that energy around, and they don't want that energy. There's no reason to bring about it, and just have it happen.
Oh yeah, I grew up being somebody who definitely believed in the supernatural,
right?
And, you know, like, I think there was a house we lived in when I was younger that was known to be haunted, and as I grew up, I kind of, and it's more like a fear-based, not like a rational-based thing. I have chosen to try to ignore the supernatural.
It's not there
because
it's not there.
Yeah, it's like by addressing it or looking for something, you bring it into your life. It's like it's the secret. But no, it's the idea that by constantly, you know, like, looking for these supernatural ideas, you allow them to gain access to your life.
Well, and that's what it pretty much, which I believe hard in, is like, it is a thought. A thought is energy. Energy has, like, energy releases, like, different types of energy release energy, right? And so as soon as you have the thought process of, okay, I'm willing to travel down this road, that energy is released into the fucking universe, and you basically gave the green light to another energy to connect and then make that light brighter. And so, like, and that's the thing. Like, I believe in spirits. I believe in existent beings that are not of this realm. And I believe that there's also individuals who believe hard enough in whatever is happening that they're literally creating the situation of either moving doors or, like, knocking on the thing. Like, people get scared enough or get enough emotion and energy around them. Humans can do some crazy shit, and we're just not in tuned enough to be aware of it, or at least understand it, so people shut it down. But I mean, like, I fully believe, like, there's energies, entities all around us, different levels of shit, realms, and soon something's gonna cross and we're all gonna be fucked.
Yeah, and I think sometimes too, a lot of that can play into, like, especially when you're younger, is the imagination and just kind of making things to be bigger than what they are. I remember we lived on an island when I was younger, and at night I would hear, like, stuff walking in the rocks, and I always assumed that it was like a
Ooh.
person or like a large
Fuck
dog
that.
like walking around the house. Well, no, as it turned out, it was giant 4-foot rats.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Shit.
And at one point,
Fuck that.
because we had like this giant, like 6-foot sawgrass that would it would be so dense that like, and it was so sharp that you wouldn't even walk through it. But the rats would live in that during the day, and at night they would come out looking for food.
Right.
Well, they also had a tendency to get into the pipes, and so at one point we had a rat crawl up through our toilet.
Oh fuck!
And
that.
so it got into the house.
This one starts shooting.
And I remember I saw this giant blur cross from under my bed to my little brother's bed, and I was like, "Oh!" Start screaming, "Rat!" My dad came in with like a dowel rod and started chasing it around. Ended up breaking it and having to put it like the whole thing on a shovel to go and throw it back into the yard to give it back to its rat people. But it was a terrifying situation where just like I would think that it was just, oh, there's some guy walking outside my window, there's some craziness, something, blah blah blah. It's just giant rats, no big deal.
Either or, that's pretty fucking scary. But I mean, it's amazing what the mind creates.
Oh
you know? Especially if you have no actual concept of what it actually is. Like your brain will take shit anywhere, really.
Yeah. And so, but on the opposite end, I have a friend who adamantly does not believe in ghosts, does not whatsoever. No. And his outlook is that he's actually gone to places he knows to be specifically haunted to call out the ghosts, to try to elicit a reaction. I don't know if it's to try to create belief within him that he would believe if they responded.
Right.
But I'm like, no, bro.
Now, does he do it respectfully though? Because again, this whole thing is about energy. It's about essence. It's about what you're bringing to the table. And if you're walking in going like, "What's up, fucking ghost? What's up, homie? Like, bring your dead ass back, bitch!" Like that's probably not a good thing to do.
You ain't scaring me as spookies.
Like, it's probably not gonna happen. But if like and again, dude, there's a lot more believers out there now, at least I believe, because of the internet. Now, 99, maybe 98% of these internet movies of the ghosts and the haunted dolls, they're rigged somehow, right? Computer imagery, strings, magnets, whatnot. Like it's easy to do, but not all of them are fake, and those individuals, those percentages have helped the rest of the percentage see what is in existence or could be right in existence. I've seen some scary shit, man, and but some people believe, some people don't. But like when you have that existence, oh fuck, man, I lost my train of thought. That energy needs to be brought in of saying, yes, I'm willing to either communicate or accept the two-way path to connect this. Versus, you're not there, come show me, right? Like I don't know, but I don't know. I am slowly collecting my ghost travel kit. I don't know what the fuck to call it, but I'm a solid believer in don't do it in the house. Do not make sure you do what you got to do to not invite shit into your existence, and make sure that you sever connections if you ever do something. Ouija boards don't fuck with.
No. Yeah. And that's kind of my outlook, where I have decided to not fuck with it at all.
Yep.
I remember at one point,
well, thank you.
My kid said that he felt like somebody was watching him when he was in the bathroom of the house. Oof. And I remember his mother was like, "No, there's nobody in there. You're fine, blah, 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 blah." And my outlook was like, all right, no, okay, let's get the sage. Let's burn it. Yep. Okay, get some holy water. Yep. We got all this stuff together. We'll spray it down. We'll sage the place down. we should probably get some priest in here to say some rites, and let's just move on. I'm like, I don't want to play around, but I don't want to ignore it per se.
Exactly.
I want it gone.
There you go.
I'm
Just
like,
do what you got to do. Get it done. Get it gone.
You got a spiritual journey in the afterlife you're on. That's cool. I respect that. Just don't do it in my house.
Not this space.
No, sir. No, thank you. All right. So we're going to take one last quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to discuss one more fear.
Let's keep it going. I love it. Yeah,
but
good times.
Stay tuned. Take a break if you need to. We'll be right back on the Unsolved Studios FearCast.
Unsolved.
Hi, I'm Ryan Williams, one of the co-founders of Unsolved Studios. Here, deep within our green room, we're working on a lot of different projects, a lot of cool stuff coming down the pipeline. So tune in. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, all the interactive stuff. This is our call to action. We want you to help make us great.
Hey, camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, and...
Hi, we're back with the Unsolved Studios FearCast.
FearCast Unsolved.
I hope that wasn't too scary.
Wait, now I need one. There we go.
Yeah, I need a hand. Need a hand.
I'm super excited to be on this show today.
Yes.
It's making me very hot in this hot seat.
Did you eat the skin off your fingers?
No.
Finger licking good.
Oh, shit.
All right, we are back from our last break or whatever it is. We're back. We're discussing
round 5.
Let's discuss the last fear I have written down, which is being wrongly accused.
Oh, that's
especially in public.
That's a good one.
Yes, I have a fear of being misunderstood or being accused of something definitely that I didn't do. I try to keep myself a pretty on the level figure, you know, like I'm not the type of person who's going to okay. I was a teenager once, and as a teenager, I can now say as an adult, I was a pretty horrible person.
You know, that's solid truth. I think everybody, has that point.
Yeah. I stole a lot of stuff. I tried to rationalize my stealing by being like, oh, well, I'm stealing from a big corporation. But I know for a fact I stole from friends. I stole from people I cared about. Yeah. And as an adult trying to right his wrongs, I try to be a good citizen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Just do what you can when you can, and keep
so one thing that
energy.
I tend to think about is when I think that there is room for confusion, I tend to think of something to cover my base, like be like, hey, no, blah, blah, blah. Like I try to think of an explanation for my actions.
Okay.
It's like, hey, what were you doing here? Well, this is what I was doing. I was minding my own business. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. I don't know what's
yeah. But recently I was in a situation at I don't know. Let's just go ahead and call them Wally World.
Wally World.
And I was on my way out of the store, and obviously we're now living in the day and age of the self-checkout where
not an amusement park.
No. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, yes. Oh, yeah, that was Wally World. Okay, Walmart. Calling you out, Walmart. I'm not necessarily calling you out, Walmart, specifically, but like the Walmart on Carlisle where that one guy was being a jerk. I'm calling out that one guy.
That one dick, man.
I wish I would have looked at his name tag. But I was I had made my way through self-checkout. I had a decent list of stuff I had to get, And, and because of that fear of like, oh, hey, blah, blah, blah. Like I'm always really attentive to like really to a point of being obvious while scanning my stuff. I'm like, all right.
This is one.
Ding.
This is two.
Ding.
Yep.
Putting everything in the bag, getting everything together. And it wasn't like an unusual amount of stuff. I had literally, I think it was 17 items.
Right. Okay.
And
17. Sorry.
I get to the guy at the door, and he's like, "Oh, let me check your receipt." And I'm like, "Yeah, cool." And so he keeps telling me that I have one too many items, and I'm like, "No." And I'm trying to think. I'm like, "Is there any way I could have made the mistake and
just think
not
thinking
run
about
this
it.
up?" And it's like, no, like, and so we're going over the list, and I was even willing to accept that maybe I had made a mistake. I'm like, all right, the only possible thing I can think that might have not gotten scanned. I'm like, and we're going over it. I'm like, this is this, this is this, this is this. And at this point, I didn't even know. And I'm sure it's Walmart policy that it says on the bottom of the receipt, number of items.
Right.
And so it's like, okay, you take that number, you count the number of items, and if they match, boom, you're good. That's done. Easy peasy. It's just counting. Well, as a doorman at Walmart, so I don't know how easy peasy that was. But he was just dead set. And then it was a point when I realized that the security, the extra security force that they hire had started like kind of amassing around me,
creating that barrier.
And I don't know, like at this point I can't be 100% positive, but I'm fairly positive that at this Walmart on that day he had a rifle across his chest. Man. Like he was holding an actual weapon, and then there was two other ones that had approached me, and so we're going back and forth, and he's like, no. And he keeps grabbing stuff and trying to take it out of my cart. And I'm like, no, bro. I paid for that. This is on the receipt. And he's like, no. This isn't here. And I'm like, and so finally we get to it. I'm like, look, 1, 2, 3, 13. And 1, 2, 3, 13.
Right,
so we count it all out. And I'm like, look at the number, 13. And he's like, tells me to leave.
Oh my God. Says, fuck that.
And I'm like, he's like, okay, leave. And I'm like, no, like for at this point it's been 3-4 minutes of making me look like a criminal,
right?
Just standing there, just everybody just showing it. People are walking past, like judging.
On the spot, man.
I feel judged.
Yep.
And I'm just like, I'm having like this heart palpitation. I'm like, no, but okay. I need you to apologize.
Yeah, 100%. If they're being that dick, 100.
And he's like, just leave. Just go. And I'm like, no, dude, you did wrong.
Right.
You accused me of something I didn't do. You need to apologize. And, and I definitely at that point was a bit heated. I was like, the volume was, I'm not screaming, but I was
you were
audibly
in the moment,
upset.
Ready to make, you wanted your point across. Get that.
And then I turned to the IPS. Sorry, probably shouldn't have said their name.
Turn to the beep.
I turned to the security guards and I was like, this is not cool. And they circled me and then were like, you have to leave now. And I'm like,
fuck that, man.
One of them has like, like I feel like he had a rifle across his chest. The other two, like they usually have some form of weapon on them, whether it be a pistol, holstered or whatever. And they start moving me towards the door. They're like, yeah, you just need to leave now. And I'm like, but no, I was shopping. Did everything I'm supposed to. I rung up my own groceries.
Did all the work for you guys.
I do what I get paid money to do at my job. For nothing for you guys, just to make things a little easier. And I was like, no, like this isn't cool. And they strong, like I won't say they actually touched me, but they guided me very
very diligently guided you
towards the door.
Oh my God.
And I just like, and even at that point, when I'm in the parking lot and I'm going to my car, they're still watching me adamantly. like as if all of a sudden I was gonna pull the Cheetos out of my back. Just ha! I got the Cheetos, the free Cheetos,
Oh, no.
and I was just like, it's just. I
You need to leave
audibly
the premise, sir.
had a panic attack in my car. I just sat there for a moment, just freaking out, just like not knowing what to do.
That's when it releases, man. That's when the dam opens up and you just yep, 100.
And just and there have been other similar situations where it's like I don't necessarily know what the case was, but I felt like people looked at me like I did something wrong, and then it's, you know, you think with our criminal justice system you're innocent till proven guilty, but in those moments I'm guilty and there's no proving my innocence, even though
you
I'm
proved you're
innocent. Yeah, it's like no, like you got the receipts, you got all the stuff, we could count it all now, we can go to guest service and figure this out, but like the fact is that they were like, oh no, like you're a threat now.
Well, now you're put on the spot as someone who's like, yeah, you're dangerous to, you're a danger to either our place or what we're trying to do, or you're in danger to our product. So like it's kind of what it is. And like I totally understand that. I wouldn't say I'm afraid of that, but at least for me, like I know it's happening. Like I mean, my majority of my pants, my shorts, my shirts, everything's pretty fucking big and bulky on me. Like I don't like tight clothing, you know, gotta stay loose, bro. Gotta stay loose. But and fucking even trip pants, gotta have the trip pants, right? Like and I walk around like but I know as soon as I walk into places, I know people are watching me. Like you can see the people who are the undercover security or whatever, whoever. Like I worked in the situations, worked next to good. We've worked next to good individuals who work that position, right? And so like it's fun to kind of point them out, but in a sense, like it's like, well, you know, I'm just because of the way that I look or what you think is going on, like doesn't mean that that's what's going on. Because I've been there, man. Like during my teens, I was kind of a fuck up and kind of a shithead, and it's like you said, you got to make it a point to become an adult and make those decisions wiser. And so it fucking hurts when you just want to be you're just doing you through the day, and some fucker's like, no, you stole that, or no, you did something that's wrong, and you're just like, wait a minute, what? Like, says who?
Oh yeah. And I feel like that for that reason, because I'm so afraid of being like misconstrued as a criminal, like I have to do things very obviously. I'm like, hey, pulling out my phone. Oh, no. Nothing else. Oh, I have to put my
you gotta be in this state,
back
man.
in my pocket.
You gotta be in this state, dude. Like you'll get shot. And I know people rag on the police everywhere, but I mean it's APDs, man. Like there's good people, there's bad people, and there's people who just haven't been trained well enough, right? And shit happens, dude. People walking out of their kitchens with spoons getting shot. Fucking people, you know, lifting their phones out of their pocket trying to call their lawyer or something, and like shit happens. And it's not even just cops, man. Like there's people who are just walking their dogs, and then somebody's just like, they're breaking into my house, pop, and it's like, whoa, no. Like people misjudge. Stop misjudging people, y'all. Like get your facts right, man, before you start doing shit. Yeah, shit.
Yeah, at one point I lived in a house. I'll just say it was a fairly toxic situation. I was in between places. I was grateful for these people for giving me a room to stay in for a couple of months while I got back on my feet. But there was a situation where the police were called on one of my roommates. And when the police arrived, because I knew they were coming, and I was like,
okay, yeah.
like I don't want to give too many details away about the situation because I don't want to point any fingers. I don't want these people to know that I'm talking about them.
Blur.
But the police came in the house and I was sitting on the couch holding one of my roommate's kids, and they immediately saw me being very calm in a situation and assumed that I was the reason that they were called there.
Oh, cool.
And so they, hey, can you just get off the couch? And I was like, yeah, no, absolutely, man. They're like, okay, just put the child down. And I was like,
shit.
okay, I don't see. Yeah, sure. I would think maybe get the child out of the room would be the better idea. And then next thing you know, my hands are behind my back and they're starting to handcuff me. And one of my roommates ran into the room and was like, no, that's my roommate. And they're like, oh, okay. But when the actual person
had to say, hey,
appeared out of a bathroom, they were almost calmer dealing with that person than the way they quickly just threw me in cuffs. And I was like, wait, did I look like the person? I was like, come on, like serious?
Was there an actual description given before entering this household? I mean,
I'm pretty sure there probably was, and the description wasn't me. But yeah, it's like there's been a couple of instances where, thank goodness, it wasn't taken to the extreme where I was blamed for these things.
Yeah.
But like it has happened enough times where I'm like, all right, I need to make sure that all my intentions are telescoped or telecast so obviously that I cannot be looked at as a criminal.
Well, I mean, and that's I know we're running on time, but like my lady and I we're in another convenience store or shopping center. We walk in. I just got out of work. Like I was dressed nice. I had tucked in shirt, long dress pants, dress shoes, and everything. I had a backpack on, and this was the kind of in the mid time frame where you were still allowed to have a backpack in the store.
Oh man, back in the day.
And so a lady was with me. We walk in. I really just needed to take a piss. I went in there, kicked the door open, did my shit. As I was in there, this one guy, like, he comes walking in, undercover guy, and he's like, I was planning on tagging on the fucking damn stall, but he came in, interrupted. So, I didn't do anything, didn't even pull out my markers or anything. And then finished what I had to do. And he just kind of like followed me out. And then as I was like going out, he jumped in. This big other guy jumped in, and they like blocked the way. They threw us in cuffs, dude. And they weren't even cops, but they threw my lady and myself in cuffs, took us to the back. And like both of us, like we have issues with being, cuffed up. So I was freaking out, and like I was saying like all the wrong shit, but I was still keeping my cool on the shit. But we should have sued them. But they were like, no, you're trying to steal these 2 sprites that we purchased at the Dollar Tree like next door before we even came in. They wouldn't let me use the bathroom or whatever. And I was like, no, man, like, can we scan it? Like, let's check your inventory level. Like, we can do that. And they're like, no, we can't do that. And they're like, no, you can do that. Like, your inventory level should say how with this, what you sold for the day. Like, you need to go fuck yourself. And I was going off, dude, because they were traumatizing my lady. But anyways, we got out of there. I was so fucking heated. Didn't remember the people. Didn't remember their names. Don't know the company of them. But I should have sued the shit. We could have been billionaires. I was fucking weird.
Well, yeah, I will say that I hold on to my receipts a lot longer than I should.
Got you.
Because, yeah, if somebody gets me outside the store, they're like, hey. I'm like, hey, receipt, bro. Receipt.
That's true.
Yeah, I can understand that.
There's been a time period, though, where I had to live into a point where it was like, no, you didn't see me there. So I got rid of my receipts. But cash is king, get rid of the receipt. You're good. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another exciting episode of Unsolved FearCast. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your love. We'll appreciate it if you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button,
Smash them.
smash them, hit
Like,
that
don't
comment
smash it because I
section.
don't want you to hurt your keyboard. But, you know,
Yeah, don't
hit it like a little bit, like more than normal. Just like
There you go.
with enthusiasm.
Yay! Smiley
Yes.
face. People do emojis still, right?
Yeah, throw in a smiley face emoji. If you don't want to make a
Oh.
comment, just throw an emoji in there.
There we go. We're good. Ladies and gentlemen, Unsolved FearCast.
Thank you for joining us at the Unsolved Studios Unsolved FearCast.
Unsolved.
What are you afraid of?
Done.
Woo!
You're watching Unsolved FearCast. What's your fear? Unsolved FearCast.
Hey, you just finished watching an episode of Unsolved Studios Unsolved FearCast. What are your thoughts? Let us know if you liked what you saw. If you don't like what you saw, hey, maybe we got stuff we could work on. Maybe we can make it better. Because we're making better stuff every day. It's going to be great. And you need to tune in. You. Yes, you. Yeah, you know who you are. Watching. You haven't subscribed yet. I know. You don't think it matters, but it does matter to us. Subscribe, like, and comment.